Hey guys, well, we got a car going by right off the bat, making noise. We're still up here in Dearborn, and I'm with one of my favorite viewers that watches my YouTube channel. We met last year at Motor Muster.
Yes.
Not last June, but the June before, 2023. Right. And his wife, Roseanne, who's holding the camera. And they're always great about liking and commenting my videos and doing great. So we wanted to get together and show you this beautiful 86 F250 that they purchased, and we're going to show you guys how to add intermittent windshield wipers. This truck didn't have that option. We'll wait for this truck to get by. Yeah, this truck didn't have the delayed intermittent windshield wipers, so we're going to show you guys how simple it is to add that option to the Bullnose trucks. And honestly, it's even really the same as the Bricknose. So that, and we're going to swap out his dash lights for him because he's got a turn signal light that's not flashing, and his dash lights are dim, which are kind of dim anyway from the factory. But we're just going to go ahead and replace all the bulbs and instrument cluster and show you guys how to do that. So let's get started. Okay guys, this is all it takes to put intermittent windshield wipers on your Bullnose Ford truck, and even your Bricknose as far as that goes. So we're going to get started and show you what all there is in changing this up. If you show them here, Dan, see, without, you just got high and low, and you know, when you push it, you've got your wash. But for the intermittent, you turn it back towards the left to speed it up and slow down your delay wipers. And see, this one does not have it, so we've only got high and low and off. So that's how we know it doesn't have it. So that's all we got to do is get that out of there and change out the switch and plug this into the factory harness, and they're going to have delayed windshield wipers. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a Phillips screw out of the bottom of this thing. That's a long-winded one. And then this unclips, and normally you got to take it out of gear, or out of park, I mean. We're just going to squeeze this and pull it up off here like so. Then, and I didn't bring a light switch, so I'm going to edit that in when I get home, because there's a button that we're going to reach up in behind here on the light switch and just feel for it. And in this case, it's on the bottom of the light switch. So we're going to pull out the headlights, we're going to push that button, and then this comes right out. And then we're going to go in real lightly to turn the lights off. If you push too hard, you're going to snap that back in. Okay, here's what you're doing right here. This little button right here is what you're reaching up there and feeling for. And you're just going to pull this out, push the button, just like that, it releases it. And when it comes time to put it back in, just go like that. Oh, it already locked, actually. See, just like that. Push the button, pull it out, and it goes back in lightly. See, if you push lightly, then pushing farther in, clicks right back in, and it's locked. That's all there is to getting this shaft out of the light switch. Then you need some sort of a little pick or something to get to. Right back here, there's a clip that you just want to get a hold of and pull straight back on to get the wiper knob off. Just like that, it releases it. See that? You're getting hold of that metal clip and just pulling back on it as you pull this out to release that. And then you've got 3 Phillips screws that go across the top of your instrument bezel that we got to take out. So now, oh, we got the wipers on. Gonna pull down on this, push up on the dash a little, and this will lift right up out of there. Just like so. And I heard this fall off. This little thing right here goes on here. Just hangs on that to turn your light, your greenish blue. Okay. So now we're going to take this nut off the wiper switch right here. And I got some channel locks for that. Once you get it real loose, we can get it with our fingers. Okay, now the wiper switch is just going to pull down, pull right out of here, right down here, and we're going to unplug it. I don't think there's any clip on it either. I think it's just in there. Just like that. So now all we're going to do is plug this in to our original dash plug, dash harness plug, just like so. And then I've seen these both ways, and this one doesn't have it. Sometimes you'll see it like stuck up here with a Phillips screw through here. But 9 times out of 10, this is just tied up underneath here with a wire tie. So we're going to stick this wiper switch right back through the hole, and then this is a ground wire that we just find any existing ground down here, like a Phillips screw or whatever it takes to ground this one wire. And you see you got this flat spot, and the flat spot's on top right here. So that's how we're putting it back through there. And put our nut back on. Want to make sure you get it tied. And I think that's going to do it. So now I'll look up under here and see where the best place is to ground it. I got a flashlight in my pocket. Actually, here's an empty hole right here. So, Dan, I'll have you go ahead and pause it, and I'll look for a screw in my bag. Okay guys, if you look right here beside this light, there's an empty hole, and I found a Phillips screw, so that is where we're going to put our ground wire. We'll pull it down out of there if I can find it. Here it is. Right here, and I'm going to put that screw right in there to ground that. So I'll hand it back off to Dan. Then you got your box hanging down here, and like I say, in most cases they're wire tied up. I've even seen them where they were actually not even tied up at all. They were just kind of stuck up there and hung on a wiring harness, but we will tie it up with a wire tie. But first, let's put, go ahead and pause it, Dan. They want to say hi to the camera.
Okay. He's just some bystander. He be doing good at his job. Y'all should go follow him and fuck with him.
Okay, before we go any further, we're going to put the knob back on. And see, well, what am I looking at? There. Let's see if we got delayed wipers.
Oh, cool.
Look at that.
Is that cool or what?
Yeah. We got off,
Thank you.
high, or low, high. You know if it has any washer fluid in it?
It should. Usually
Yep, it's working.
Oh, I have it in all
You
my
have to wipe
vehicles.
that off. But we go off and we go back to, and the farther to the right that it's turned, the faster it's going to go, and the farther to the left you turn, the more it's going to slow the delay down. See? So just like that, you've got delayed wipers. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to go ahead and pull this instrument cluster out and change some dash lights for Dan. Okay, so now, right here, you see this? I believe this is a 8mm. I'm gonna have to go find a socket. 8mm, 5/16, something like that. This is your gear selector cable. And before you ever pull this instrument cluster out, you want to make sure you take this loose and take this off. See how your needle's moving?
Yes.
You want to get this off, because as soon as you start tugging on that cluster, if this is attached, you're going to break this plastic cable. And let me show them here. There's a little clip right here too that you need to undo. I have to study it here. You got to open that to get that your shift cable out before you pull the cluster out. Otherwise you're going to break that and it's going to totally throw off your gear selector. So let me pop this off and then I'll show you what I did, and I'll go ahead and get this loose. But I got to go get me a socket first. Okay. We filming? Okay guys, what you're going to do is this little piece right on top here, we're going to get under here with a pick and we're going to pry up on it and see how it just opens up like that to release it. And then come over here, Dan. And here is our, see, we took this cable off of this little tit right here, and then we're going to take this screw out right here. It is an 8mm, and it's got kind of a big oval looking washer on it. And then this lifts up and out of its little holder. So now this is loose. When the cluster comes out, it's going to come out with it. You just be extremely careful, don't break it. So now we've got 4 Phillips screws here, here, and here, and here. But you also, and I'll go ahead and back up, Dan. We got to take the speedometer cable off. And again, I'm going to edit that in at home when I do this video to show you how you, and we apologize for all this traffic. Dearborn's kind of a busy place, but you push over with your thumb and pull back on the speedometer cable to get it off of the cluster. And like I said, I will edit that in showing you how to do it on a cluster at home. Here's what you're doing right here. So you're just reaching up there and you're feeling for this part with your thumb, and you're just going to push it down and pull it off. That releases it. Just like that, the speedometer's loose. Oh, I gotta find a rag. I got some grease on. Let me get it. We on? Okay. The speedometer's loose. So we've got 4 Phillips screws. You've got one down here. Like I always say, lay these things all together so you put them back in the same spot. One down here. And we wish that Dan had a tachometer with him. We'd show you guys how to add the tachometer to this, because I've been wanting to do a video on that for quite some time. This truck only has 48,000 original miles on it. Only 5,000 more than my black one, I think. Okay, now there's a plug on the back of it as well. You just have to squeeze the ends on both sides to get it out. Just like that. Can you see? I think they can see that, Dan. Let me get my flashlight. See there, I just squeezed in on both ends of this, and it just pops right out. So now we've got one right here that twists out. I believe this is an emissions light. Okay. And on this side, if it was four-wheel drive, there would be one coming through here that you'd have to twist out for your four-wheel drive light. But this one's two-wheel drive. So now we're ready to come out. And again, just be extremely careful that you don't break your cable. And is the tailgate down? Okay. We'll just come back here and use it for a workbench. And we're just going to go ahead and replace all of these, because he's got several burnt out. We're just going to put new ones in it. Honestly, Dan, none of them really look too burnt out. That one might be. It's a little black. How many do you think it was, just half of it or part of it? Or
I know the top were burnt out. I don't know if the bottom were.
Okay.
I think these are.
Yeah,
my
well,
turn signal was burnt out.
You do have one turn signal that wasn't working?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4,
right turn
5,
signal.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, that's what you got, 10 of them.
I got 12 actually.
Oh, that's right. You got, yeah, so we might as well just replace them all, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay, where's the new ones? Okay, guys, believe it or not, my mom had a little travel size rubbing alcohol. So we're going to wipe down these contacts just to clean them real good. where the bulbs make contact.
Oh boy, that cleans it right up.
It does.
Look at the dirt on that.
Okay, that should do it. Now, we're just going to pull these right out of the sockets and put new ones in. What we come up with, 10 total?
Yes. That's what you guessed at Henry Ford.
Is it?
Yeah, you said 10.
Well, I said you could get a box of 10, and I knew that. Was that the first time you guys had gone to the Old Car Festival?
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Years. It's so cool though.
Probably should stop talking and just work.
You're doing fine.
We're going to go ahead and clean these contacts right here, guys. Are you showing them? Right here where this plug plugs in, just to make sure that we're getting a good contact where the plug plugs in. We're going to clean those real good with alcohol too. It's so daylight outside and we can't really find anything to cover that up to make sure that we've got all of our dash light illumination working, but I think we do. So, see, in order to change the tack, all you have to do is get a tack, and it's held on with 4 speed nuts like this, and you just get this mesh off one with the tack that's wired for it, and that's all there is to it. You just bolt the tack in and change out this, and boom, you've got a tack in your original cluster. It's real easy. I need to do a video on that. This right here is what I'm talking about, this mesh. You just need to get one that comes up here with the tack and these speed nuts and these 4 studs right there. That's your tack. There. This thing's all dusty, but see, that's where your tack sits in there. You just take out the blank and replace it with the tack. One of these days I'm going to do a video and show you guys how to add the tack.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Okay, so yeah, I can. When you dim it, you can really see them brightening up here. When you dim and bright them, you see that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I know this one's working on the odometer. Let's make sure we still got all of your. See, we're not getting a seat belt light, but they could have that. Oh, there it is. I just barely touched it and it came on. So we got to address that. You got your left turn and your right turn. Did you see that? If I just touched that, it tried to come on.
Oh, yeah, I did the first time.
Yeah, but it's not going to do it until we start it again. So let's take it out.
That was a new one, right? That we.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to open those little contact wires up like so. That way they're sticking out, and when you put it back in there, you know that they're making contact. Okay, let's see if we have a seatbelt light. Oh yeah, it's coming on. Seatbelt light's
job.
working.
Great job.
High beam. Yep, you got high beam. I think you're going to be good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So now, all we got to do is put these 4 screws back in to cluster. I never really tighten them all until I make sure I've got them all started. We'll walk around the truck a little bit and look at it when we get done here. We just want to hurry up and get this done before we run out of daylight. Alright, just go around and snug all those. Now, we'll bring our cable thing back around and we're going to hook it right here in this spot. And see, this is adjustable. You can move it back and forth to make sure you get your needle just in the right spot. But then go ahead and put your cable over the little, we're going to call it a tit, right there, because see, let me put the key in and see, when you move that, it pulls the cable through that tube, and then that's what moves your needle. Like so. So you got to get this adjusted just right when you tighten it back down. And that was this one with the crazy little washer on it. And it's showing we're in park, but we're going to go to reverse and neutral. And see, it's not quite on neutral. Can you show them that, Dan? So we're just going to move this. In this case, we're going to slide it down before we tighten it up. And that puts us right in the center of neutral. And then we got drive and second and first. Reverse is good. And park's good, so now we can tighten it down. Yeah, usually when that's off, when your needle's off, that's why, because that's out of adjustment. So we're good there, and then here I'll take it and I'll show them how we're just gonna clip this right back in here where it was. There, that's clipped back in just like it was. Now we got to snap the speedometer cable back on, and like I said, I'll show you guys this at home. I'll edit that in on the with a cable and a cluster to show you what I'm doing. When it comes time to put it back on, you don't have to push anything with your thumb. Just feel for it and push till it snaps and it's back on. Just slips on and snaps on and locks, and that's all there is to it. But we got to get our button pushed on the bottom of the light switch again to get this out. So we can put the bezel back on.
And the high beam light still works.
Good. Get this out of the way. Be careful not to catch your cable, your gear selector cable. And then this has little studs right here that just sit down inside here. Just like that. Lift up on the dash a little bit. And we will put our 3 screws back in the top, and never ever use power tools on this, and don't ever over tighten it. Just snug so the plastic doesn't crack. And see, these just go right into the bottom of the dash pad itself. It sucks it back down.
Oh yeah.
Now we'll slip our knob back on, and see, it's got this flat spot. You want to look for the flat spot on the shaft, and you still got to hold your mouth just right. There we go. See, there's delay, there's off. And then we've got to pop this back into the headlight switch. There we go. And then we're going to spread this out and slip it back down over here.
Beautiful.
Snapped right in place.
Beautiful. Good job, Tony.
So we got to put the Phillips screw back in the bottom of it. Oops. This was a long-winded one. There it is. And then, like I say, we're going to grab a wire tie, and we're just going to tie this box, the delayed wiper box, right up here to keep it from falling down. And that's exactly the same way Ford did it.
Do you want to show her how it works?
Did you not see that?
I do not.
All right. I don't think it has to be all the way on. Okay, so you got, I guess it does, low and high, and your washer works. We're going to go back 2 to off, and if we go to the left, you have delay wipers, and the farther you turn it to the left, it slows it down. It slows the delay down.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
So hold on here. There it goes. And you can make it slower. The farther you turn, the slower they're going to go. And then the further you go all the way back without them being off.
Wow.
There's your fast delay.
That's just a nice feature to have.
It is.
When you're driving it,
It's
that
so
light
good.
sprinkle, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's all there is to putting the delayed wipers in your Bullnose truck. And really, honestly, Brick Nose is the exact same way. So
You're an expert at it, though. You make it look easy.
I wish we had a tachometer for you.
Well, next time
We'll do
maybe.
that, yeah. So let's take a walk around the truck and show everybody how nice this thing is. All right, guys, so we just got done putting all new dash lights and adding the intermittent windshield wiper option to Dan's truck here. And what can you tell us about this, Dan? You was watching my videos and you saw my black truck and how plush the seat was and stuff, and you and Roseanne really wanted to find an 86 Ford truck, and that was the year you were married, right?
Right, yeah.
And you started looking. Where did you find it?
This one we found on Car Gurus.
Car Gurus.
Yeah, and it's exactly right. The seats on your black truck, it just looked very plush for a pickup truck.
85 and 86 only.
Yeah, and we started looking and ran across this one, and it was initially advertised as a manual transmission, but it was an automatic. We were initially looking for a manual, but then as we looked at it more and more, it kind of grew on us, the color and what good shape it was, so we decided to take the plunge.
Well, and I believe that's a C6, so you can't go wrong
Okay.
with the C6.
Okay.
And it's a 351 HO, and that was a very strong engine.
Yeah.
But I want you guys to see this truck, how clean it is. It's what, 48,000?
40, just turned over 48.
Yeah,
At
just
47.
48,000 miles. So you've only driven it 1,000 miles.
1,000 miles,
Yeah.
that's it, yes.
Yeah, F250, 3/4 ton, still has the original stripes on it. Absolutely no rust anywhere. And you could tell too, it's all the original paint. It's in unbelievable condition, really.
And it
And
drives like a dream.
I
It
bet.
really-
Yeah. And I can't get over the tailgate panel, how beautiful that is. I mean, Roseanne, do you realize that this XLT panel, this big beautiful panel on the back of this truck, is worth $1,000 easy by itself? Yeah, somebody would pay you $1,000 for that panel.
Really?
Yes, that's how beautiful that is. It doesn't have a mark on
really
it.
dresses the truck up nice.
Yeah, so whatever
We
you
like
do, take care of that tailgate and that panel, because that is worth a lot of money. Yeah.
I didn't know.
It was owned by a
sheep farmer.
sheep
lady
farmer lady,
in
right?
New Hampshire, and she sold it about 3 years ago. She actually, unfortunately, got ill and sold it to pay for some of the treatments, medical treatments.
That's sad.
Yeah. So this gentleman bought it out of Bedford, Massachusetts, and then kept it a couple years, but he wanted a 4-wheel drive.
Ah,
So, and we didn't want a 4-wheel drive. We just wanted a 2-wheel drive, something in the summer to drive around in.
yeah.
So,
Well,
we were
you could-
very lucky to get it. Now the dash lights are fixed, and we have intermittent wipers, so we're
Yeah,
even more lucky.
yeah.
And it has a nice AM/FM stereo. It has cruise control. The
Tilt wheel,
Well,
with tilt and cruise came together.
You showed us how that works.
Sliding rear window,
And the air conditioning works really well.
air works
So,
good.
yeah.
You know, I've never seen these sort of like
don't know if
guards that they
that's-
put on here, but I mean, it's saved it from getting all chipped up.
Yes.
I mean, look at it. I mean, you could tell that's original paint. Don't you agree, Dad?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't believe that that's ever been painted on at all. It's all the original Ford lines and the Ford tape and everything. There's no evidence of any correction in there at all. So it was done in 1986, and that's the way it still is. And the story is,
She never washed it, right?
yeah, the story
washed
is
it
that
by
this
hand.
cover's been on here all this time. So, I mean, that original blue material is still beautiful on the
It's a
seat.
Ford, it's a Ford.
Yeah, and it even says Ford on that.
It's a
So-
Ford Indian blanket, which I'll probably have that repaired.
And I can tell you too that by looking at the no wear to speak of on the sides of the horn pad, that that's the original miles. Yeah, if that was 148,000 miles, this would all be wore off.
Well, that was the other thing you said on your video with your black one, is to look for that, which we did when we looked at it.
Yeah,
But I think just how plush it is in the seats.
I'm
that's what really sold us on the
I'm surprised it doesn't have dual tanks. That shocks me
You know, I
for a
had that.
3/4 ton.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was
small.
standard.
It's
Honestly,
small.
I kind of thought that the dual tanks were standard on these, but I guess they weren't. But you know, something else we can add really easy if we could find the bezel for the cutouts is the clock with the date.
Oh, okay.
That'd be another easy thing to add.
Well, maybe we get the tachometer and
Yeah.
the clock.
Just look how beautiful the dash is. I mean, no question in my mind that this isn't original miles.
What it's showing.
48,000.
Oh yeah, it's too clean.
Yeah. Sounds just like a Ford door. Look at that Ford oval emblem right there too. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
No chips in it or anything.
These are real nice.
Yeah, it still has all the real nice black, or that was kind of an argent color around the.
And it's kind of a small thing,
headlights.
but I like the real seal beamed
Yeah, I do
versus
too.
the covers.
Yeah,
That's Ford.
yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
bet it's peppy.
yeah. It should be.
Yeah, it drives really nice. Yeah. It's got that nice light if you need to
Yep.
look at anything in the middle of the night or
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah. These 5.8 HOs. Sometimes, but this thing starts up and runs so great. Those carburetors were problems, but somebody must have done something to this carburetor or something.
The guy that worked on it a couple of years was an engine guy, and like I said, I think he really wanted a four-wheel drive, so he kind of went through the whole thing, did
Yeah.
the brakes, rebuilt the carburetor, put on a new water pump,
Yeah.
did a lot of maintenance items, but yeah, it just starts on a dime.
Mm-hmm. Everybody knows I'm a sucker for a Bullnose. 86 was my favorite year, period.
No, but fun fact, that was the year we got married.
That's what Dan said.
Yeah.
You can feel that slickness too. You've got it polished up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like to wax them.
I can't wait to polish that.
I like to keep them clean.
It's got the original car light windshield in it. No chips.
Is that right? Okay.
Yep. I mean, look at the mirrors. No dings.
Nothing.
Look, I mean, even this side is a mirror. You can see us.
All she did was load it up with hay in the morning and afternoon, take it out to the sheep, and brought it back.
Yeah.
And she washed it by hand. She would take a bucket, one clean bucket of water, and wash it, and then she took a towel and dried it. It never went through.
She never really hosed it down
never
or
hosed
anything.
it down.
Tony, what is the name of that polish you get from me?
I don't even remember, Dad. They kind of changed it.
But it stays on forever and goes on.
Yeah.
Put on like off.
Now we've got a car down here doing donuts in a school parking lot.
Idiot.
Man. Just like the moron that hit Mom and Dad.
The gentleman I bought it off thought these were factory, but I don't.
No, I
remember
don't think
seeing-
those are factory, but they've certainly saved it from being chipped up or anything. But it's really just a beautiful truck. And you don't see them very often that's reversed like that either. Like normally it's blue, white, blue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of white, blue, white. Normally it's got the white in the center.
And I like a white car because you can see it better.
Yeah,
theoretically,
yeah,
Right?
yeah. But what a great truck! I love it. But everybody knows I love my Bullnose trucks. But well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Dan, thanks for
Thank you.
watching.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
Mr. Tony.
always
Yeah.
taking care of me. And
Thanks for adding those features that'll really make it even more fun to drive.
well, maybe next year up here we'll add something else.
Yeah,
Power windows and locks, or a clock,
I'm real
or something.
happy. This
Yeah.
will get me through the next year.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.